Greetings, the internet. I am Eric Grooms, the film score fanatic, here with a review for Never Surrender, Galaxy Quest documentary. This film was produced by the Screen Junkies, or Screen Junkies Productions. A group of people that I am a big fan of and inspire me, and I aspire to be anywhere near their level one day in the future. But I digress with my flattery on that part, because I'd like to flatter them in other ways. The documentary itself I found pretty entertaining. I definitely multiple times in the movie I thought to myself, I was cognizant, I was aware of my own enjoyment, and I thought, if anyone were to if somebody was standing in front of me and they turned around and looked at me, I would just be sitting there with this big goofy grin on my face, because I felt like I was doing that the entire movie. And I don't want to just to be critically fair, I don't want to say that that is just entirely on their production skills. I think it speaks to the subject matter. The documentary is basically about how pop culture has changed in the last 20 years, and how fandom has become more mainstream, and it's okay to be a fan of things, whereas 20 years ago and farther back in time, it was not okay to be a fan of what was considered nerdy things. And for me, one of the things that I've always enjoyed the most about going to Comic-Cons is watching other people have joy. It's, for me, I go there because there's a couple things that I want to find and spend more money than I should on, as a collector of nerdy stuff, of a particular brand. But beyond that, it's just walking around and looking at the other people who are having the time of their life, and that's contagious. It's infectious. And so watching this documentary just bathed me in that feeling of, not only are the people who are making this documentary fans of that film, Galaxy Quest, but they also found people who are uber fans of Galaxy Quest, and watching them have their experience just brightened my day. Personal side note, I had a really long day at work today. And so I was really excited to go and see this movie tonight. So that was a nice, personal aspect for me. I've got a 3-day week of work before the Thanksgiving holiday here in America, and this was a nice, right in the middle, let's take a break and enjoy something special, and we'll get back to the grindstone tomorrow for a little bit. But anyway, that's not important to the review, but it was important to the reviewer in this case. The interviews, we didn't hear it. It wasn't that kind of documentary where you can hear the interviewers asking their questions or anything like that. The Screen Junkies really don't have any part on the screen. So I don't want to ruin that for anybody, but if I'm going to give a review, people might be wondering. But the reverence to the subject matter is what's most important. I'm not a documentary expert, so I wouldn't say that if I continue doing this movie reviewing on into the future, I can't imagine I'm going to be doing reviews of a lot of documentaries. But I will say that my favorite genre of documentaries are documentaries about production aspects. One of my favorite documentaries, which I'm not going to remember the name of right now because I'm not good with titles of films that I've only seen once, and I don't, but I remember the details. It's the documentary about the Don Quixote film that was doomed to fail, basically. It just the actual movie finally came out this last year, and I feel terrible that I cannot remember the title of the actual film. I believe the documentary was called The Man from La Mancha or something like that. But it was the Terry Gilliam film that had production woes. So anyway, the reason I bring that up is that I felt like this was in the same vein. It kind of takes you through the entire process, all the behind the scenes machinations of how this came to be. And I learned some things that I had no idea about this movie. I'm not I am a fan of the film, but like not like I'm a fan of Star Wars, where I know every little behind the scenes detail and things like that. So it's a very educational film. You'll learn some things. You'll feel some emotions. You'll laugh. You may cry, depending on your threshold for crying at films. But yeah, I think overall it was a well-made effort. I appreciate the Screen Junkies so much, and I'm excited for your success in the future. And I hope we keep getting documentaries like this from you guys even more, because the Screen Junkies are plugged in to this world, obviously, and they know more about some of the behind the scenes stuff than somebody in Kansas City would. So yeah, I would give it a thumbs up. Unfortunately, it was a one-night engagement, so if you didn't see it in the theater, you're not going to be able to see it anytime soon, as far as I know. But we don't know what the next step is. They've said that they were planning on, there's a next thing to roll it out. So maybe it will come back to the theater sometime soon, or maybe it'll come out on Blu-ray or something soon. If it does, I'll buy a copy, and I'm sure there's a bunch of people that were in my theater tonight and in theaters across the country that would buy a copy as well. So I recommend it. I think it was a good one. I don't want to spoil anything, but there was a particular anecdote that was just I laughed the hardest, and everyone in my theater laughed the hardest at. And like I said, I don't want to spoil anything, but it was just about acting experience on this film. Any of you guys who saw it, and the people who made it, you know what I'm talking about. So, do with that what you will. And yeah. I don't even know where to end with this, because I don't want to stray into being too much of a fan of the Screen Junkies, because I am. So I guess I'll just have to end it there. Like, you guys did a great job. I can't be too much of a critic on this one, because I'm a big dork on the internet. So anyway, I've been Eric Grooms, the Film Score Fanatic. Did any of you guys happen to see this film today? And I probably shouldn't even say today, because behind the scenes, my computer's a piece of crap and it takes me forever to produce anything. So I might be posting this the next day or the day after that. But let's knock on wood. Hope that isn't the case. But anyway, comment below if you saw it and you have any thoughts on it, or if you think this is something you hadn't even heard of and now you want to see it. You know, keep your eyes peeled, keep your ears to the wind, and see if you hear anything about this movie coming out. You know, I'll try to keep you posted if I can. Like, subscribe, all those things that I have to say as a robot on YouTube. I appreciate any and all engagement and helping hands to, you know, hopefully grow this channel as we get better and more experience at it, I hope. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. You know what I'm talking about.